Hi, welcome to the Penguin Revolution, and today we're going to discuss my opinions. I'm a very opinionated person, so on this channel I'm occasionally going to voice them. So here are 5 of my unpopular Linux opinions that I have. I have many more, but I'm only going over 5 today. So before we go into this, I'd like to remind you to go ahead and smash that subscribe button. I'll give you a second to do that. Okay, so now we're going to get into this. As much as I love Linux, I know that it's not for everyone. Linux has a high learning curve due to the amount of choice that is offered in Linux. It can be bewildering for new users due to the amount of desktop environments, terminal shells, and high degree of customizations of some desktop environments. This often can be confusing to people. Also, some people don't want to try 5 desktops to find the right desktop interface for them. Some people just plain don't have time for that crap. The amount of customization that Linux has is a strength in its favor, but it also can be its downfall with some people because they don't like change or they don't have a use for all the options you have in Linux. And that is a fact. Free and open software is great, however, it isn't always the right tool for the job. There are people out there that will only use FOSS software, no matter what the consequence, with no compromise and no exceptions. However, that is not the attitude I have, nor do I think it is the right opinion to have. People are always entitled to their opinion. I'm not saying that they're not either. I just don't agree with that opinion. Proprietary software will always exist. I believe that those developers should have a choice whether to make it free and open or to keep it closed. Some proprietary tools are great, and in some situations, FOSS alternatives don't compare in features or functionality to their proprietary counterparts. The bottom line is that I have a work to get done, and if I have to use proprietary software to do it, then that is what I'm going to do. That is not to say that if the open source options are just as good, that I won't use that option. If I have a viable open source alternative, I will always choose it. But sometimes there is no viable choice, and I'm okay with that. Right now, game developers are writing for Windows mainly, so naturally a native Windows computer will run a game that was written for it better than Linux will. In some cases, if not most cases, this is true. Tools like Wine, Proton, DXVK, etc. are great and work extremely well. However, they are far from perfect. Linux gaming is improving every day, and right now it is better than ever. And it's to the point where I don't have to use my Windows partition very often anymore for gaming. No matter how great Linux gaming is right now, there are still a lot of games that will not run in a Linux environment. The main problem here is mainly DRM schemes and anti-cheat systems that are incompatible. For example, Fortnite, its anti-cheat system. Also, developers are writing the anti-cheat system to purposely ban or block some instances of Linux if someone is using a Linux-based operating system. This is true with Destiny 2. Until we overcome these obstacles, then Windows will probably be the better alternative in some situations for gaming. A lot of people would like to argue with me on this point, simply because they can make Arch work with little or no breakage. I'll be the first to admit that you can maintain a working Arch-based system with minimal breakage, but that doesn't mean it's stable. Arch rolls out updates on the bleeding edge, and this does have some benefits, such as the latest hardware drivers, CPU microcode, and software and operating system features. But there's also a downside to running a computer this way. Because you are running all the newest software, you also open yourself up to all the brand new bugs. And with the way that Linux works, with the libraries being interdependent on each other, and programs depending on those interdependent libraries, those bugs can break individual applications or even the operating system itself. You run a high risk of breaking your system every time you update. That makes Arch not stable, in my opinion. The AUR can be an amazing tool, but it's not without risk. The AUR can have many pitfalls. One is that it's completely community maintained, which means the Arch team doesn't audit the code, and some projects may not be maintained anymore. Older projects that are unmaintained can tend to break dependencies because of older versions, and can cause package conflicts within the system. These package conflicts can break Pac-Man, the main package manager. The AUR is something that you need to watch and maintain constantly. Those are the 5 unpopular opinions that I have in this video. Feel free to discuss them in the comments section below. Also, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to this content. Have a great day, and thank you for watching the Penguin Revolution.